Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. I have a very interesting article talking about the four horsemen hate silver. Now, what is the four horsemen, or what are they? It is pestilence, war, famine, and death. So, the gold to silver ratio hit a historical high on March 18th of 125. Even higher than 1991 when silver bottomed at $3.51. Pestilence. News stories besiege us on the dangers of COVID-19. Pestilence released upon the world by take of your choice bats, the United States, China, and bioweapon labs. The pandemic has created trauma for everyone. Confidence in governments and health agencies will decline. Trust in central banks will hopefully reset to much lower levels. Paper assets and fake money will be unmasked and understood for what they really are. Real money will someday be appreciated as the only money without counterparty risk. But until that day, the paper derivative exchanges on COMEX manage prices. War. The wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, and other countries cost lives and trillions of dollars. What have they accomplished other than transferring assets from governments to corporations? National debt increased over $23 trillion and prices rose, but the piper must be paid. Perpetual wars weaken economies, currencies, and governments. Fake money will thrive until it fails. That moment of failure could be close. Famine. Starvation has been a fact of human life for centuries. Expect central bankers to use their primary tool, printing fiat currency units, to address the consequences of pandemic and famine. Central bank actions cannot create wealth, alleviate a famine, or diminish a pandemic. And death. Several thousands of people have died because of this pandemic. Many more will die in the coming year. Zombie corporations, over-indebted corporations, and small businesses will die by declaring bankruptcy. Real money, gold and silver, will thrive. Paper, silver, and paper derivatives are fake money. But paper prices have fallen hard. Yes, COMEX prices for silver and fake money, fiat-based or debt-based dollars, fell to $11.77 on March 18th. However, prices rose to over $16 on April 14th, but each silver eagle remains an ounce of real money that has been valuable for centuries and will stay valuable for many more decades, regardless of how paper contracts are dumped on the COMEX to lower prices. The fiat money silver prices have dropped, as prices have for most stocks and other assets. This bear market will devastate all debt-based assets. The four horsemen hate silver. War creates price inflation, wealth transfer, massive debts, and demand for commodities. Silver prices rise as currencies value. They show consequences of excessive spending and unpayable debt. The war horsemen hate silver for telling the truth about wars and spending. So, famine occurs when food is unavailable. The currency is devalued as much as it buys little food. Think Venezuela. The famine horsemen hate silver for retaining the value of food and purchasing power. Deaths of individuals, businesses, governments, and economies show that life is tenuous and easily lost. Enron, Global Crossing, the Ottoman Empire, and the USSR are gone, but silver remains. The death horseman finalizes with deaths and bankruptcies. It hates silver, a real lasting asset. So, silver during the past 60 years. Paper silver prices on COMEX are volatile. For this discussion, assume an ounce of silver costs $18. Prices could exceed $50 in 1 year. First class postage in 1965 was 5 cents, or about 0.03 ounces of silver. Today it costs 55 cents, about 0.03 ounces of silver. Right? Silver is timeless. Crude oil in 1969 cost $3.25 a barrel, or 1.8 ounces of silver. A month ago, crude oil cost $32, about 1.8 ounces of silver. An average house in 1964 cost $20,000, about 15,000 ounces of silver. Today, an average house costs about $325,000, or 18,000 ounces of silver. You can see how the pattern is. Silver is like putting your money in a time capsule, ladies and gentlemen. Right? It's like preserving your money. Just like back in the day, a $50, a Walking Liberty $50 could buy you a gallon of gas. That same $50 can buy you a gallon of gas today. Back in the day, it was the spot price attached to it. The 50 cents could buy you a gallon of gas. Nowadays, it's not the spot price, but the silver inside of the coin you could take to the coin shop, sell for $7, $8, and buy yourself a couple gallons of gas. So conclusion. Pestilence. The COVID-19 affects everyone. It will be blamed for a bear market in stocks, recession and depression, and massive unemployment, social unrest, loss of confidence in government, a credit crunch, and other failures. Famine. War and price inflation are caused by failure of currencies, a smaller problem of one stores of wealth and not devaluing paper currency units. War. A price inflation are normal conditions in a world run by debt-based paper currency units. If countries used real money, gold and silver, there would be less debt and fewer wars. Death. Many people will die from COVID-19. Wars, depression, and economic collapses. Silver bullion will help, but few people know and understand real money. The Federal Reserve sees panic and debt in stock markets. They injected trillions of fake money to support markets and government expenditures. Inflate or die. More trillions of newly created fake money are coming. 0% interest rates, more debt, and government stimulus programs are inevitable. If the Fed distributed $1 trillion to American workers, each worker would receive about $7,500. However, the Fed chose to support bankers and hedge funds instead of workers. The Fed is a part of the problem, not a part of the solution. The gold to silver ratio shows that silver is hugely undervalued compared to gold, a sign of bottoms in both. The ratio will decrease as silver prices move far higher. In February 2020, 650,000 silver eagles were sold. March 2020, sales through the 12th were 2.32 million silver eagles during less than half a month. People wanted silver, not paper currency units. Shipping delays will occur because the U.S. Mint ran out of silver eagles. Right? That actually happened. Since the 1960s and the 1970s, silver prices have risen along with other commodity prices. Financialized assets such as stock indexes and corporate debt have risen more rapidly than silver prices. Those overvalued financialized assets will correct lower. That correction began in February. The COVID-19 virus will be blamed for the consequences of using fake money, excessive debt, Fed policies, and deficit spending. We can ignore fake money, but we can't ignore the consequences of using fake money. But buy silver, even though you may wait for delivery of silver coins. Miles Franklin himself, silver coins, delayed junk silver, gold bullion. Protect your savings in retirement while you can, right? Trying to protect yourself against this massive catastrophic event that's happening, which is COVID-19. And there's nothing we can really do to avoid it. It's going to affect all of us dramatically, right, and drastically. But we can find an alternative. And how it was mentioning, silver's timeless. It's like putting your money in a time capsule. As the dollar's deflating, as the dollar loses its value, as the dollar loses its purchasing power, it's becoming more and more and more and more worthless. And it's lost 98% of its purchasing power due to hyperinflation, rapidly inflating. With 0% interest rates and with QE and with monetary policies and the Fed pumping all this money, all these dollars into a system that just doesn't have the money to be spending, right? We're trying to get ourselves out of debt by replacing it with more debt, and it's definitely going to affect us drastically and dramatically. So I am curious what your strategy is. What are you doing to ensure your money? What are you doing to ensure your hard-earned dollars? Are you preserving your money in gold and silver? And if you are, what does that look like for you? What amount compared from silver to gold do you have? Do you have 5 ounces of gold and 500 ounces of silver? What does the ratio look like? Because silver seems to be the metal with the most potential, and you can see how this article is very bullish on silver. It explains how COVID-19 is going to expose things, and even if gold doesn't surge higher, silver definitely will. So are you bullish on silver or are you bullish on gold? What does it look like and why? I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, concerns, insight, education. I can share a little bit of mine. I just definitely think that silver, not to repeat myself, but just to share more context, silver has much more potential than gold does or ever will. The gold to silver ratio is still extremely high, meaning that silver is undervalued, meaning that it shares potential and opportunity that gold just doesn't. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video from silverseek.com, if you enjoyed this video, if you thought it was educational, informational, or just entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe. I post daily videos every single day. I posted another video earlier today, so make sure you check that out if you already haven't. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. The link to this article will be in the description if you want to check it out yourself. I did skip a little bit just to try to keep the video at a timely manner. So anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys and gals soon. Peace.